Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy, my channel's Finding Value. Today I'm going to go over oil and natural gas, do some technical analysis of it. I want to show you some insane chart patterns. What I'm using is Ethereum as the base pattern. I'm going to compare it to oil and gas and show you how they compare and where we are in this consolidation cycle. What happens is on different time frames, we see a move up, a consolidation phase, a move up, a consolidation phase, or you could see the consolidation phase really pull back. And these things can be drawn out or scrunched up, the time frame. So you could see it happen in very small time frames, or you can see it in very long time frames. And then when you zoom in or zoom out, the pattern itself repeats itself over and over. Now, the pattern isn't perfect every time. It's not like the pattern is there, but it could be just scrunched up, or it could be drawn out, or you could take the ends of it and pull it down or pull it up. But the pattern's still there. That is basically Elliott wave theory. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take Ethereum, which has a very nice scribed out pattern. It's a beautiful pattern. And I'm going to compare it to oil and natural gas companies. Now, oil and natural gas, the thing that's insane about them, and there's a couple sectors that are just insane. Solar is one of them, oil and gas is another, and uranium is. And they're all in the energy sector, and I've done a lot of basically ratio analysis on valuations. The largest returns, in my opinion, for the commodity bull market are going to be somewhere in energy. I don't know which sector is going to perform the best, but with the valuations as far out of whack for oil and natural gas, and with uranium, I could see either one of those absolutely destroying it. We're talking potential 100+ baggers. And I know that's from the bottom, not from where we're at today, but from the bottom. And I'm going to show you how much some of these have gone up from their bottoms. Insane moves from their bottoms for some of these oil and natural gas companies. So I'm going to jump in here. I'm going to show you what I have and give you my opinion on where we're at. So on the left, again, this is the Ethereum pattern. This peak here to the bottom is the pattern that we're looking at, the consolidation pattern before the large move comes up. And what we're seeing here is I've got a couple of different companies over here. I've got Appia Energy, which is a rare earth company, SM Energy, which is an oil company. I've got Forces Metals, Uranium, Beam Global, and Sunworks are both solar companies. Now, solar, this is Sunworks here. Sunworks has a ton of volatility, and it can move, big time move. It did this move from from September to January, February of a 17 bagger. And I don't know if this move is a precursor to how big the next move could be, but when looking at how this thing scribed down in its chart, it looks fantastic at this point to be a buyer. And if you look at how this thing scribes out, you can see that it's the same pattern as this. And if you were to zoom out, this big entire pattern is putting in this pattern here on the big move. So if you were to zoom in and you were to scribe out this pattern, I think that we are right where this arrow's at for Sunworks. Right here is right about here is where I'm guessing we're at. And I know it's difficult to see this, perfectly here. If we scribe out and we say that this portion here, we could be here as well, depending on how you look at it. You could say, because sometimes these get drawn out, we could be right here as well. So it's either here or right here that I think we're at, which means we're at a bottom. So I bought some just for the heck of it. I bought some in Beam. I own money in all of these. And I'm hoping that we see a much larger move coming up. Now, going back to oil, this is Crew Energy. Crew Energy is one that I purchased back in October, November of 2020. Can't remember the exact date. The star, downward arrow is how this thing aligns. We've got this nice big sideways movement, and where I think we are is where this arrow's pointing down, is where the arrow's pointing down. I think we're just barely getting started, and a huge move could potentially come in oil, a massive move. Because remember, no one's investing in oil, but we're still using it. We could see a scenario in a few years that we see shortages of oil. And maybe it doesn't come, maybe it does. But I am positioned for it, especially with the ratio where it was at in November and October. And I bought Crew Energy. And I think I got in at like 30 cents or something like that, if I can remember correctly. Now, here's Centennial Resources Development, another one of my favorite. It's a high debt company. I kind of threw the star there and the downward arrow, kind of just guessing where it's at because this is all scrunched up. You can see it kind of comes down, blows down into here. This portion here is this portion here. It comes down and up and over. It comes down, up, and over. And this is where I was starting to buy, was all in this section here. We came up and over, up and over. And where I am proposing where we are at today is the downward arrow is right here, just above the line going across, which the line going across matches it very well. And we're coming back and we're putting in a bottom right at any second now. And I am buying more of Centennial Development right now. I bought some more today into strength, and I'm loading up on CDEV. It's one of my favorite companies. It's a high debt company, and I think it has one of the largest leverage opportunities. SM Energy and Centennial Development, and even CPE is a pretty good one too. But these are all highly leveraged to the price move. So if I'm at all close to this, and I'm right, we are going to see fireworks in the portfolio if this ensues over the next couple of years, moving higher. I think that we could blow the doors off 20. Maybe 40 or 50 or $60 or $100 is quite possible. Maybe not. I don't know. I know people always ask me, well, what do you think it could go? It could easily blow past 20 like it's sitting still. I think we could double the price of oil. I think we could potentially hit $100 on CDEV. Maybe. Depends where oil goes. Remember, profits don't double on the price of oil doubling. They go up exponentially if you don't make any money. So their profits would go up exponentially if oil were to go to $200 or $250 or higher or $300 or wherever the heck it goes. I don't know where it's going to go. But if we run into a shortage, which we've never seen before, we've always had production outpace demand. We could see where supply is short of demand, and I don't know where that price break is. I don't think anyone knows. But you know what? I'd rather be positioned in a company that has a chart that looks like this, that's all in alignment with the cup and handle pattern and all this other stuff, ready to move higher. And the valuations where they're at. Transocean here, I got the triangle portion there, the star, the downward arrow, and what I think where we're at, way over on the right-hand side, is where this arrow's at. So I think we're right there. SM Energy, the blue arrow is where I think the blue arrow's at. I think we just popped out and we're coming across. This is all jumbled up in here. But knowing where these are located at, I don't see why this one would be in a different location, which means that if we blow the doors off this, I think this could be a multi-$100 stock if oil gets to ridiculous levels. Now, I'm not calling for it, but what I'm saying is it's a potential possibility with commodities as cheap as they are to stocks, and with the money flows and the inflation that's probably going to come, we could see this go very much higher. Here is Tetra Technologies, another high debt energy service company. This one's a oil and natural gas company. This is an energy service company that I went into. Again, the alignment is where the arrow's at, and it's just breaking out. So this could have a large move higher as well. And then Contango Oil and Gas, I grabbed this one as well. Star, arrow, came all the way down, and I think we are very close to where the arrow is at right here, just like all the other companies. And I didn't put the arrow in there, but that's where we're at. It's about to move on higher. I don't think MCF, since it doesn't have the debt, it's a kind of a no debt play. I still think it's good to own. But if you want max leverage, CDEV and SM Energy are probably the two that you want to look at. But you're going to have to live with a lot of volatility. But with volatility comes rewards if you get it right. If this is right, we get the valuations right, the market conditions are right, are ripe, and we have these chart patterns aligning like they are, and we're right next to one, a big move that's coming. I think that we could see some life-changing returns, very big life-changing returns. And I'm very excited for it. Sometimes I kind of think about it because I haven't seen patterns like this and the alignment in my entire life. And these things are just lining up one after the other. And they're all, the entire sector. It's not like one company has this, they all have it. So I am highly excited. I can't wait to see what happens over the next couple years. And hopefully I'll be done and retired at maybe early 40s. And I'll do whatever I want then. Hopefully this help you guys out in whatever adventures that you have. And, if you like this content, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.